Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back. As always, huge massive thank you for the support. So just coming back with this last play with the kit from the magazine 77, the Crafting with Hunkydory one. And this is Nautical Moments. This is Drifting By. So we've got this sort of really retirement sort of feel about them, I think. Or, you know, somebody who's doing a lot of travelling. So we've got 3 decent sized toppers there. This one possibly could be a topper rather than. You've got the printed cardstock. You've got this beautiful foiled cardstock with the foiled seagulls. And then you've got this printed paper with those images on. So let me just pop that to the side for a moment. So this, I believe, should be my 100th card as part of my challenge. So I thought we are going to celebrate it by giving you that shutter card template that we did before. So I'll put a picture of this on Facebook and on Pinterest. And thank you to all the people that have been saying that they love those. So I'm going to try and keep doing those as and when I can, when I find different things. And we'll see how we get on. Okay, so let's start. And the thing I like about this shutter card is it's pretty easy. The only thing that some people might struggle with would be doing the mats for it, because there are so many. But the actual card itself it's basically 2 or 3 scores and 2 cuts. So let's get on with it and show you how it's done. So I'm going to take a piece of 6x12 cardstock and I'm going to pop that to the 1-inch mark. So my cutter comes on, it's got it's got marks from 1 to 1.5 on the other side, so that's really handy if you've got one of these type of trimmers. And then I'm going to cut from 2 till 10. And then I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side. So putting it up to that 1-inch mark, popping it down and then cutting down to that 2-inch. Okay, so pretty easy so far. Let's pop you out of the way for a second and we'll bring in our scoreboard. So I'm working in the inches because it's easier for me. So we're going to score at 2 inches. I'm just going to come to the cut line, and then at 4 I'm going right the way across. Okay, and then I'm going to turn that around because I've got the smaller board, and I'm going to do exactly the same again. So 2 to the line, 4, I might need to just keep a hand on that, straight across. And then what I need to do is just rotate my paper just to get those little 2-inch marks on the other side of the paper. Okay, so you're going to end up with a piece of paper scored like that. Okay, so let's move that out of the way, and then we can gently start to maneuver these folds in. So I'm just giving them a little push, and it doesn't really matter whether you do them as mountain or valley really at this stage, because you really just want to get that paper to move the way you want it to move. So once you've got everything moving, we can go ahead and pop that score down. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. Like I say, it's not how it's going to stay, but I just want to get a good score in, and then we can go around and pop them in as we want to go. Right, so this first one is going to go back. Yes, that one's going to go back, and then that will ease that piece forward. Yes, come on. And then that piece is going to come forward. That piece, oh, where are we going? The worst thing about these shutter cards is you never really see it until the last minute on how these things are going to fold. So that is going, that needs to come forward, and then gently pop that down. And then we can go ahead and redo those creases because that's our final position with it. There we go. And then when that's on a side, it will go like so. It will stay opened up. So you've got 3 sort of major areas to decorate. If you want to, you can go ahead and try and make a mat to fit that sort of, I suppose it's like a T shape, upside down T. I'm not going to. I'm going to make it easy for myself, do single mats for here, here, and then all the others as well. Okay, so let's straighten that out. Like I say, it feels like you're trying to make it go into a wrong position, and even I get confused sometimes. This is about the 4th or 5th one I've done, but just trust the process. Keep easing it in. You know that that's going to go into a 6x4, so yeah, just keep trust the process and keep at it is what I'm going to say. Okay, and the other fantastic thing about this one is if you've got any of those little offcuts of gold, or even sort of your like your cardstock, like these sort of bits that you have left over, this can be a perfect card to pop those on, because you don't necessarily have to have, I mean, I could have 2 of those on there. I'd probably get those 4 out of that if I wanted to, you know, so it's a perfect way to use up those little scrappy bits of card that we have left over sometimes. But I'm going to start with a sort of 6x6 gold piece today, mainly because I did 9 cards yesterday, I think it was. I put them all on Pinterest already. I had that all done by like about 10, half 10 this morning, so that's why we're up to 100 now. So I was using up a lot of my bits. The one that I did yesterday, I'll just quickly drag it in, is that one there with that little topper. Perfect for these little toppers. There's the insert, and this is the die that came with magazine 76. And just, I don't know if you know this or not, but if you find that you've got, I'll say like this here, where you've got the blue and you find that the gold is too much. I mean, I know I've used the gold there, but if you put a piece of vellum behind it rather than a gold, it can really bring those colours forward for you. So that was something I've been playing with over the last couple of days. Right, let's get back to it. So I need to do 2 pieces for here, which we know are, this space is 2x6. So I'm going to do 2 notches under 2 and 2 notches under 6. So that is piece number 1. And then we need 1 for the other side, so exactly the same. 2 notches under 6. No, 2 notches under 2 and 2 notches under 6. Okay, and that's that piece there. Okay, and then this piece here, we know that's 2x4, and that's going to be the same of this piece here. So again, I can go 2 notches under the 2, and then I can cut that down to 2 notches under the 4. Okay, and then if I grab another piece of card, I'm going to do exactly the same again, so 2 notches under that 2 and 2 notches under the 4. So those are the pieces that are going to go in there. So we've got those 2. I'll leave those 2 there because I know they're done. Now this piece in the middle, this larger piece, that is going to be 4x4, so that's just a square. So I'm going to do 2 notches under 4 by 2 notches under 4. So that's going to go into there. And this one here and this one at the top, that's going to be, well, the space is 1 inch by 4. So I need that to go 2 notches under 1. And that should already be 2 notches under the 4 because of that piece above. So let's do the same again. I'm going to need a little bit of tape to hold this down in my cutter so it stays straight. Oh, no, that moved. Let's move that tape. You might have a cutter that sort of allows you to hold onto the card a bit nearer, but this is quite a wide sort of bracket here. Okay, so that is that one for the top, and then these bits are 2 by 1. So I'm not sure what we've got on there, so we may be able to get them out of here. So again, I'm going to go 2 notches under the one. Let's get that tape back in, and we need 4 of these, so hopefully I'll get them out of these offcuts. Let's have a look. Is that 2 notches under the 2? No, that needs to be cut down. And then we need to do this one 2 notches under the 1. Get rid of that one. And then this needs to be 2 notches under the 2. And that should fit quite nicely onto there. Again, onto there. And then I've got this other little piece here that was left over from these 4-inch ones. And again, I'm going to go 2 notches under the 1. And then 2 notches under the 2. One at the top and one at the other side. And that one's going to go on there. So there, now we've got all of our gold layers. So let me just get these a bit. So if you think about it, really, it's a whole sheet of that 12 by 6 that you're decorating in the gold. So that's why you're using 2 of those pieces of gold. But you can just do it all out of those 2 pieces of gold and not have very much waste, if you know what I mean. So just be, you can be quite frugal with your cardstock. Okay, so let me bring in our cardstock. So the first thing I want to do, and I'm not sure if it's going to let me, but I was wondering whether I could get a strip of the pebbles out of there, but it looks like it would just go into the gold, but that's fine, so we won't do that. Right, so I think for these end pieces here, I definitely want the pebbles, so I'm going to start with those. So they need to be 1 3/4. Oops. 1 3/4. By 5 3/4. So I'm going to save this piece because it's probably going to end up on those bottom bits, but that will fit onto there. And then I'm going to turn this card around and do the same on the other side. So 1 3/4 by 5 3/4. So that's going to be both of those ends. And then we need these pieces here, which were 4 by 2. So again, I'm going to come in. Actually, I think this is 8 inches long. Yep. So if I go 1 3/4, and then I can go to 3 3/4, and have one going that way and one going that way. Okay, so the next one I'm going to do is going to be the 4x4 piece. So that's going to be 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. And that one should fit nicely onto there. And then I'm going to do this long one here, which is the 1x4. So we're going to go at 3/4 of an inch by 3 3/4. And it's going to be quite nice that those lines are going in the other way. If you don't want to, you could cut it across, but I've just decided to do it that way just for a little bit of variation. It's just happened that way, but I'm happy with it because I know it will just give us that little bit of a difference. Okay, and then for these 1x4s, no, 1x2s, so these need to be 3/4 of an inch by 1 3/4. So I'm hopefully going to get them out of these pebbles. So let's just put that to the side. I'm going to grab some more tape. That down flush to the end. And then this needs to be 1 3/4. And you need 4 of those. No, stay where you are. There we go. That's that one, and I just need to do that 2 more times. So 3/4, Let's get rid of that piece. And again, 1 3/4. It's going to go at the top. And again, that's going to go at the top there. Okay, so that is all the cutting out I'm going to do. So you got a couple of choices with the topper on this one as well, because I'm going to be using, oh, I need to cut one other thing, so I'll bring that trimmer back. I'm going to be using the seagull, but what you could do if you didn't want to do that, you could, these little ones here would go perfect on there, so you could just mat and layer those onto gold. Okay, so let me just bring this back. Sorry, it is a lot of cutting, isn't it? But it's just the insert, because I want to put, or do I? I'm just thinking I might swap this piece out actually for the insert, like I did with my other one. Okay, so this has just got a little line on it where the printing starts. So I'm just going to take that off. And I can take that around. I'm going to cut that to 3 3/4. Save that one for the other card. I'm going to take that little bit of line off where the printing starts. And so this means that people will be able to write in the middle of the card rather than having a space for another topper. And to be fair, he doesn't look half bad, you know, it's not like it's a plain piece of paper in there. Okay, so that is that. Sorry about that little switcheroo. Right, okay, so now we can start to assemble. Okay, so let's just bring this over carefully. And just pop these to the side. Okay, so the glues I'm going to be using, they're going to be my usual glues. So in this one here, I've got the Kalau tacky glue. And in this one here, I've got the Clout All-Purpose Glue, which is the same as the Hunkydory construction glue. I would say this tacky glue is slightly thicker than Hunkydory like PVA glue. But you might find using the glue stick itself better than using the PVA glue on some things, especially like on the paper. I use the dotty tape pen in the corners on the paper just because the PVA glue, the tacky glue, will make the paper go crinkly. Okay, and the reason why I use two glues is just simply because this all-purpose glue, sorry, it's just a little blocked up there, this all-purpose glue, I don't put it too close to the edge of my mirror card because it can react with certain finishes on cardstock, mirror being one of them. So what I tend to do is just put the tacky glue in the corners. It means that my card sticks a little faster, which means I can move on to the next part of my project without worrying that it's going to move when I put the next layer on. Yeah, so that's why I use the two glues. You don't need to. I'm a bit weird about corners coming up on things, so that's why I do tend to stick the corners down. You could just get away with using the tacky construction glue or all-purpose glue if you're not so bothered by the corners sometimes coming up a little bit. And it might be something you just need to do now and then, put a little bit on. It might be not so much of a bother, but I just got into the habit of doing it now, so that's what I do. But it doesn't mean you have to copy me, okay? It's just what you do, you. That's what they say, isn't it? So you've probably been gluing things together for a long time. You don't need me to tell you how or what's the best glue to use. Okay. So that one's on there. Then we can come in with our pebbles again. I do like this pebble paper. It'd be nice if they did a duo design pad in the Matastic with this on. I'd buy it. So we're just going ahead putting all of these layers on that we've just taken 20 minutes to cut out. And this here, although you haven't put a score in it, you will find that it naturally does have a little bit of a bend from when the card goes together. But once you've got all of your layers on, you're not going to notice that at all. And it's purely just because of the thickness of the cardstock resting on it, that's all. So I'm just working my way around, putting whichever layer on I come to first. And I did an order for Hunkydory today because obviously this is the last little play that I'm having on camera anyway. Obviously I'm going to use up the bits as part of my challenge. And I'll be honest, when I opened the magazine, I thought, you know, I saw that it had changed. I was like, oh well, don't see why they had to change it. Blah blah blah. You know how I get. I don't like change. I'll be honest with you. Change is hard for me. But I will say, from being a little bit like, oh, don't know why they've done it, I found I've made an awful lot of cards with it. And I think that's probably due to the way they've mixed it up with the acetate and things. I think I used all of the acetate apart from a couple of odd little slips or little bits left over, you know, sort of 1-inch pieces, which you could totally use on these, you know. So, and the paper and the combination of having those toppers on there. Sorry, just popping my head in a little bit. So it definitely does make it more craftable, I'll be honest. So they've won me over. Well, it's not hard to win me over with Hunkydory stuff, but yeah, I've just had to renew my magazine membership for next time. Which I think the next magazine they said was going to be Christmas, didn't they? What else have I signed up for recently? I signed up for, I don't know if you guys know about the Spellbinders Better Press Society. So Spellbinders have made a range of plates. It's one a month, and you can only buy it through your sort of small stores. So here in the UK, the only place that I know does them so far, I don't know about Bumbleberries, but where I've got them from is that's the Stamp-A-Lot. So you sign up for a period of 6 months, which means you get a plate a month. It's £24.99, 25 quid, and that includes postage and everything, and you get a different plate each month, so it's £25 each month. And it's sort of a good way to build up your collection of plates if you are, you know, thinking about becoming a better press babe, which is what they're calling them these days. There's a Facebook group called Better Press Babes for people who have the better press. I know there's Lisa Horton here in the UK. She is bringing out some plates with them. I saw the ones the other day. There are other things I would buy before them, I'll be honest, but that's just me. I think if you already have a lot of Lisa Horton things, you would find them more craftable than perhaps I would, having only, I think I've probably got 3 things of Lisa Horton, 2 that I got in a magazine, and basket weaving bossing folder that I bought fairly recently. Come on now, let me just move you back a little bit. Yes. Yeah, so I haven't got very much of Lisa's stuff at all. And I feel like if you have already got some of Lisa's things, it would probably be better for you. But I think for me at the moment, it would be quite an investment for me to, because I'd have to get the whole bundle. I could have done with being a little bit wider actually. We'll go with it. So, for those of you that say my mats are always perfect, no. Oh dear. But you can't do it perfect all the time. Let's just use it. Oh, that's fallen off. Let's use some tacky glue on there for that back piece. I should have stuck that down first of all. And then we can go back in with that. Put that down. Come on now. Here we go. Will be okay. Just checking. It's a bit narrow as well. Okay. And that one's gone for a wander. Oh, come on. And that is what the tacky glue is supposed to stop happening. And to be fair, it doesn't happen as much. I think it's because I've got my hands all over this. Right, it's going to be a bit messier than usual. Apologies, guys. We're nearly there. So I was ordering my magazine from Hunkydory. I've did some other things to play with. I've ordered is it something for men? Just for him for men. I have ordered that, although I do feel like they've done quite well this year so far, you know, like for kits and stuff. We've had the floral one for ladies, although the gents do like them as well. But like this is quite neutral, I suppose. but could be quite masculine. So I'm just using those dotty tape pens on and bit on here because it's the paper. It's fine with the construction glue or the Collal glue. But, pop that one in. Give it a good press down though, because you don't want that construction glue or that all-purpose glue to sort of lump up underneath so that people can't write on it. Okay, so apart from those two bits there that I'm not so very happy with, so let's just get that to go back how it should. And those are going under. You are going that way. There we go. We're there, we're there. So that is how our card is looking at the moment. Like I say, it would be on the shelf like that, so you would see it. Looks quite impressive from above, doesn't it? Looks like really complicated, but when you lie it out flat, you can just see it's just a couple of sections. Okay, so let's grab a little seagull and our seagull's frame. Not sure if we're going to use both of them, but we will see. So we've got him. I think especially for you, because we've got that seagull on there, so we might as well keep that on there. And we have got a little bit of a border there. I wonder whether I want to pop some of that on. Don't know. Let's grab a knife. We'll cut it out, and then we'll see where we go from there. Kind of feel like we've done a lot of work on this card already, but let's have a little look. Come on, let's just use that out with my knife. Here we go. Okay, so let's have a look. Do we want to pop anything onto there? Maybe break that up a little bit. Kind of feel like that disappears a little bit. It's quite busy, isn't it? Let's see what it will look like when it's folded up. So that would be on there, and then you wouldn't see that until you opened it. Okay, so I think I will leave that out, and let's see what we're going to do with this one. Do I want to keep the frame or not? So kind of feel like he does need his frame, so let's go just pop in those little pips down without trying to cut my fingers off. Okay, let's grab some foam pads, and I'm going to go with some slightly larger. We'll go with this Crafter's Companion one for the slightly larger. So let's pop our seagull on first of all, so we can pop them all over the back. We don't need to be careful, and these are probably about a 3mm, so probably the fattest pads that I've used for a little while. Another one of my finds. But I feel like because this probably will need to go into a sort of little box anyway, you might as well put the height on. So just going to go around on there. I'm going to put this tacky glue on the back just to give me a little bit of wiggle room time, and then we can go ahead and pop that coming across. I think, have I got the other foam pads here? If I have, there's only this. There we go. So there was one book by itself. Let's have a little look. No, that's not it. There you are. Right, so get rid of those a minute. So these are about a 2mm, so slightly less than those. So I'm just going to pay attention today and make sure that I'm not putting any foam pads along this piece here or that piece there, just that my card will still, I don't want any sort of pads to interfere with the actual opening of my card. So now I know that, what I can do is just pop that off. Just going to go straight down there. Again with this narrow one, fitting perfectly on this frame. And then, so it's going to be a little bit there. And it's going to be a little bit there. So I do want to give a bit of support there, but obviously I've just got to be a little bit careful. Okay. Pop those out of the way. If you've got any sort of stamps or anything, you could go ahead and pop that into there. But I might actually look through the sentiment book and see if there is another sentiment we can pop on as well. So maybe use both, because it is quite a thing to use more than one sentiment these days apparently. And they call them sub-sentiments. So it's just a new thing that I learnt. Okay, so I'm going to, let's go on this way, this might be easier. And then let's turn my frame around. You can just go ahead and pop that over. Just making sure that it does go underneath my topper. There we go. Here up there. So it's just got that little bit of difference there. That's that one. Okay, let's have a little look in the sentiment book. I have actually got the Matastic one as well. Let's have a look in that one first. These are the bigger ones, I believe. So we're looking for something ideally a bit blue or a bit yellow. Happy birthday to you. Handmade just for you. No. So many happy returns. Happy returns. Have a beautiful day. Sorry to hear that you are leaving. Thanks so much. Celebrate. Celebrate. Silver. You're engaged. Sending best wishes to a very special man. Have the best day ever. That would be perfect if we had that in the blue. And the gold, but no Father's Day. Blue and silver again. Green. Maybe get away with that one. Cream. That's sand. Through to see if there's anything else. Could go with that one maybe. It's time to celebrate. Because we've got the yellow sands. I think that's going to be our best bet. Oops. Yeah, I don't think I want to put to my husband, or I'm so sorry. I think that's sent with love. Oh, we've got a happy birthday to you. Have a great day. Try that one. That's nice and long. Yeah, I think we'll go with that one. And then we'll still use this one as well at the front. So let's get rid of that one out of the way. Sorry, I'm in an hour in again. So I'm going to pop this one on here, but I'm going to do that flat. So we'll go right about there. And then this one, we will use some more of these. Yeah, go with this. And skivers. So this sort of type of card does make a little bit of a longer video, especially if I've not made up my mind beforehand, so apologies. The next card is going to be a lot quicker. So let's just pop that off, and then we just need some, I think I'm going to use dewdrops. What I would say is if you've got any glossy accents, anything like that, these pebbles, going over that with the glossy accents will really set those pebbles off, especially if you only picked out the odd one. I'm guessing you could pop that across there. You could do it with like a Versamark pen, you know, just colour a pebble, put some clear embossing powder over if you have one. Right, so clear gems right on the top because I was playing with those the other day. So I'm going to leave them on their own sticky, so we'll hope for the best. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. And what I would say is don't go too high with any of your embellishments or sort of decorative things on these middle pages, because it could maybe affect the how your card bends and maybe a little bulkier. Okay, so let's just pop a nice big one there, nice big one there, 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, and then I'm going to put one there. You could go with gold pearls if you preferred, but look at me try and fold this every time, it just goes the wrong way there. There we go. So it does get a bit easier, the more you do it, the paper sort of remembers. But that is our finished shutter card. Okay, and I think this here is probably big enough if you wanted to make some kind of like envelope to put a gift card in there. I think you would have enough room to do that. But that is card number 1. So just going to get set up for card number 2. Okay, so what I've done is just taken a 6x12 and just scored it in half to make a 6x6 card blank. So just to speed things a tiny wee bit along, because obviously that's taking a while to do that other card because of all the mats and layers. So this is a gold mat, so I'm going in 2 notches under 6 and 2 notches under the 6. There we go. And again, if you need a thin border, they are perfect for that. Just checking that's going to fit on there nicely, and it does. And then I'm going to be using the pebble paper from here. So I'm going to cut that at 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. And then that should fit rather nicely onto there. And it does. And then I'm going to come back in with this paper and I'm going to cut these little, sorry if you can hear Henry barking in the background. The neighbours are hopping around outside again. So we're going to cut those out, and I want 3 of them, so let's just go straight down the middle. I don't think I'm going to use this seagull again, so I'm looking for these sort of beach scenes. I think that's okay. I need to just take a tiny wee bit off there, just because I could see the edge. Go straight across. I need to take that Father's Day off there. Hello. That's Henry. He's just come in to say hello, haven't you? You're a good boy. He's a good boy. Good lad. He has been on high alert because apparently he says there are mice in the garden, and he says he knows where they are. So I'm just neatening that up a little bit. And then what I want to do is just grab my pokey tool. Where are you? Just to get that out of there. I just want to do a gold mat for these as well. No, that's not going to come out. Let's try. What else have I got here? Where is my thing I usually use? Let's be naughty and use the Tula one. There we go. Okay. Just didn't want it to jam up my blade, that's all. Okay. So then I need a little bit of gold. Let's see. Let's use one of those. We'll start with a new one. So let's see, how big are they? So that one is just under 2. Just under 2. What about you? Are you just under 2? You are. Okay, so if I go 2 and 1 notch that way, and then we just need to work out if they're the same that way. They are. So 2 and 1 notch. Yep. Do the same on there. So that's fine. I think that one's probably going to be too small. Yes. So we need to cut ourselves another piece. So 2. Sorry if you can see that fly that's just decided to hover in my face. Go away. There we go. And then I'm going to go at 2 and 1 notch. Then hopefully that should be you as well. It is. Okay, I think that is all we need for the cutting. The other thing I do want, well, hopefully it will be in here, in this little drawer. Waiting for me. Here we are. It's the little teeny tiny Hunkydory corner rounder. So it may be small, but it sure is mighty. So I'm just going to go around basically. Just that, there's just a slightly different finish to it, that's all. That's strong enough to go through these gold without putting pressure on your hands. You know how I say I have trouble with my hands, so this is not hurting me in any way. and I pretty much think I could do this for hours without causing myself pain the next day. So let's go round. And I'm only doing it with these little cubes that we're using. So just get those into those corners nicely. And you could use any kind of corner rounder you've got, obviously. Or you could actually, yeah, you could keep them straight if you prefer. Okay, so let's just get that into the bin. Okay, and then we're ready. Stop chewing your nails, Henry. Good boy. He listens to his mama. Okay, let's pop this on. This is some of that card that was in here when it was a little cold and the temperature changed, so it is tending to curl a little bit. But I have found as long as the whole card is flat while it's drying, it doesn't affect anything. So I tend to just pop a little weight on it once it has been finished. You can see it's trying to curl up at the corners there. Okay, so this is the paper. So again, I'm going to use those dots on the corner instead of my tacky glue. Can still use my all-purpose though very nicely, and that will glue that down. Now I just have to pick it up. I'm going to pop that on. Still gives me the ability to move that into position, and when I'm happy I can just give that a little press down, warm those glue dots up, and that is now stuck. So that is the start of our card. So for these ones, I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead with my all-purpose glue. Actually, I'll just pop a little bit of glue in the two corners, and then again we can just pop these in. And I think if you did these with like maybe a black background, they might look a bit Polaroid-ish. You know, you might even have a Polaroid die, you know, like a Polaroid photo die. And they could be lovely on a little scrapbook. But we are just going to use them as our little picture cubes for now. That's that one. Let's just pop those in the corners again with our tacky. No, it's not our tacky, it's our all-purpose. I could press down. There we go. Okay, and I think I had that border there as well, so I might come in with that border as well. So my original plan was to have sort of 1, 2, 3, like so. Actually, thinking what I might do is to just come across that corner maybe. Just need something on that side. Let's have a little look. Have we got anything else we can use? I think we want blue skies. So I'm going to use, I hope you have a, oh no, we were going to use Relax and Enjoy, the smaller one. So we've got that sentiment. So let's quite pastel at the moment, aren't we? We're quite need a little touch of blue, I feel. Let's have a little look. What about a touch of this blue left over from before? Okay, so what I'm going to do, let me bring, this is why you keep all your little bits. Sometimes you just need a little piece. So let's see, how big is that there? That is 2.5. Have we got 2.5 that way? No, so we will have to go 2 by 2. Like so. And then I'm just going to pop that corner to corner along my cutting edge. Hold that down. There we go, we've got our perfect little corners. And that's going to bring that to life, I think. Do we want to pop that along the edge as well, or is that going to be too much? Let's see. I think we could get away with it. Okay, so we've got our little plan. So these ones, I think I'm going to glue flat. So a little bit tacky in all of those corners. And these sort of pieces of foiled cardstock, sometimes they're a little bit of a godsend, aren't they? But, you know, especially these little bits, just when you need a little pop. Just needed a pop of blue to bring out the blue in those stones. And just break my card up a little bit. Now if you didn't want to use the border on this, you probably could get away with a little peel off or something, or even these little bits that you cut off from there. But I am going to use the border today. So we will go flat again. I'll just put PVA on this one, I think. So let's just see, I just want to get least amount on here so that I can cut the remainder off and pop that on the other side. So we'll let that dry, and then I will come back and chop that in a second. So while that's doing that, that's going to be an underneath one, that's going to be an underneath one. So this one needs some foam pads, so I think we'll go with these 2mm ones, these Hunkydory ones. Oh, good scissors. And there, that is the greeting. So I'm just going to put plenty on. You'll probably find that I don't need to put plenty on because I'm going over the top of the other ones, but it's going to be fine because we're going to be going over the top of both of them. Yeah. Right. So do I want to use a knife? Do I want to use my scissors? I think I will. I used the wrong ruler for this. Usually I should really use my metal edge ruler, but if I just go gently across there, and you can just feel when you've gone through it. There we go. I'll just neatly do the other side. So I'm just lining this up with the edge of my paper and just sort of scoring it until I feel it go through. There we go. Just a little bit of paper off there, which shouldn't. Okay, and then what I can do is then, that should be perfect. Let's just check that's going to be fine. Just come over a little bit, yeah. Oops, just put some glue on. I am just going to come up on that one, and then we'll let that sit. Okay, so for these ones, let's just make sure I've got them all in the right position first. Probably want to go, yeah, go right from that corner more or less. So I'm just going to use my all-purpose glue on these. So I'm just going to pop that one about there. And I'm just going to go with this second one. I'm going to go around about there. And then this one, just take these stickies off. And this is nearly finished now. I told you this one would be a lot quicker. So there was two sort of layouts that I was thinking for these squares. I always knew there was going to be three, or that was going to be using three. But the other layout I thought was to go 1, 2, 3 and then the sentiment. But I do like this as it is, so let's just go ahead and trim that one off nice and carefully. There we go, so just a little bit of glue there, that's fine. And pop that one down, then we just need to pop, do we want that up there or do we want that down there? I think we'll go down there, and again I'm going to lift that up. We use these little bits up because why not? And I think rather than using the clear gems this time, I'm going to use these sort of like pearly ones that I got in one of the goodie boxes recently. They are gold, but they are like a pearlized luster rather than a shiny. So just carefully getting that off. Again, a little bit tacky glue on it just so I can move that around if I need to. There we go, so we've got our relax and enjoy, and then I've got two. Looks like I've got two of them. Sorry, I know the rustling always sounds really loud. So we've got two sizes on this one, so we'll go on there. And then if I grab my little tweezers which have disappeared, I'll use my knife. Okay, so I think we'll go with, I'm not going to go with the big ones. I'm going to pop one, two, and I'm going to put, no, it's not good because you can see all the glue. I'm going to put one there. Actually, I'm going to put one down there, and then just to make that bright, turn that into a 3. So we've got 3, 3. That's all going to match in a little bit better. Okay, so that is, oh, I need the other thing I need to do as well, just while I remember. Sorry, just grabbing that little bit. Why, grab my trimmer, move it out of the way. And we'll use this one because we used the other bit. So I'm just going to cut this at 5 3/4 squares. And because this is the printable insert paper, and I think is it 230 GSM they said? No, not 230, it'd be 130. I'm sure that's what they said on the show on Friday when they were talking about insert paper. And then what I'm going to do, so that's why it goes through the cutter quite nicely. Better than the printed inserts do. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that in there at the top. Give that a bit of a smoosh down, and then obviously you've got that matching image inside. So let me bring that one back in so you can see the pair of those together. So next time, I'm not sure what I'm coming back with. I might go through one of the craft pads. I might find a craft pad and have a little play with that. It depends on whether my order comes. So it was a large order, so it does qualify for quick delivery. So there is a small chance it may be here. But if it's not, we'll just work through something a little bit older. Maybe, like I say, one of the craft pads. I did get that craft pad. Actually, it's still here beside me from when in the goodie box, which was that butterfly blush. So, oh, look at the pink on that. So it might be worth having a little play with this, or I might get one of the other pads out for quite a few. But that's it for today. Hopefully you're having a good weekend. 5 o'clock here, so there's still some of it left for me to go and do a little bit of gardening. But until next time, happy crafting. Bye bye.